From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm David Forrest reporting a victory for President Obama. U.S. Senator Barbara Mikulski has announced that she will vote in favor of a recent international agreement on Iran's nuclear program. Her vote ensures that President Barack Obama will prevail in the administration's effort to complete action on the agreement. Meanwhile, Secretary of State John Kerry is appealing to the public for support of the agreement.
It is clear that if we reject this plan, the multilateral sanctions regime will start to unravel. The pressure on Iran will lessen, and our negotiating leverage will diminish, if not disappear.
John Kerry. Photographs of the body of a migrant boy that washed up on a Turkish beach were printed Wednesday in newspapers across Europe. Turkish authorities believe the boy was one of 13 Syrian migrants who drowned Wednesday when two boats capsized. A former Congolese rebel leader known as the Terminator has pleaded not guilty to charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity. Bosco Ntaganda entered his plea Wednesday on the first day of his trial at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Prosecutors say he is responsible for atrocities committed by his rebel group, the Union of Congolese Patriots. Here is Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda.
He planned and led operations. He coordinated logistics, weapons, and training for the UPC troops. Destruction of property, pillage, attacks against civilians and against protected objects.
Ntaganda faces 13 counts of war crimes, 5 counts of crimes against humanity. A team of U.S. defense officials has started surveying a medium-security military prison in South Carolina to potentially hold detainees from Guantanamo Bay. This is VOA News. Millions of workers in India held a one-day nationwide strike Wednesday to protest government plans for sweeping labor reforms. Anjana Pasricha reports.
Some 150 million workers Wednesday shut down several industries, coal and mining operations and state-run banks, demanding the government roll back plans to implement stricter labor laws and scrap its program to sell stakes in some state-owned industries. Transport went off the roads in major cities like New Delhi and Mumbai. Schools and colleges shut down in several cities. Sporadic clashes were reported in the eastern city of Kolkata between police and activists. The strike is spearheaded by 10 major trade unions, who said the government's planned overhaul of labor laws will risk the welfare of millions of workers in the country. Anjana Pasricha of New Delhi.
A judge in the eastern U.S. city of Baltimore has rejected a defense motion to dismiss charges against 6 police officers in the death of Freddie Gray. He's the 25-year-old black suspect who died while in police custody. It's his death that sparked sometimes violent racial unrest. The judge ruled that each officer will be given a separate trial. The charges against the police officers include second-degree assault, reckless endangerment, and manslaughter. All of the policemen have pleaded not guilty. Official figures from across the United States reveal a startling increase in the number of murders in several major cities this year. Officials say they seem to be at a loss to pinpoint the exact reasons why. The New York Times says more than 30 cities across the nation have reported a sharp increase in homicides so far this year. U.S. President Barack Obama wraps up a trip to Alaska Wednesday with a visit to a community north of the Arctic Circle that is battling coastal erosion caused by rising seas. Earlier, Mr. Obama visited a salmon fishery and a local school where children in native dress performed a traditional dance. The president's trip to America's northernmost state is aimed at highlighting the harmful effects of climate change. Gunmen wearing uniforms kidnapped 18 Turkish workers Wednesday in Iraq's capital, Baghdad. The workers were employed by a construction company working on a soccer stadium. There was no indication of the identity of the kidnappers or their motive. U.S. and Japanese officials are asking that the Chinese economy be the main focus of an upcoming meeting of the Group of 20. That group plans to meet Friday and Saturday in Turkey. China's market turmoil and the devaluation of its currency have sent shockwaves through global stock and commodity markets in recent weeks. From the VOA News Center in Washington, I'm David Forrest.
That's the latest world news from VOA.